Hey there, Thunk00 here, and I think it's time to power on and make some more progress over in Manzanita. So I'll meet you in the city tile. Alright, so here we are looking at the little neighborhood and industrial area that I created last time around. So, this time I really want to get to work on, well, I might as well set a concrete goal for myself. I think that I want to complete the entire area between the existing development, the highway. Actually, never mind. Okay, so today I definitely want to develop to completion the entire area between this curving road right here, the curve in the 4-lane avenue over here, the railway, and the water. And yeah, I think that that will be quite the task in and of itself, but if I still have extra time after that, I'd like to get to work over on this quarter of the city to the south of the stuff I created last time. And before I get started on anything, I do think I want to build what might be the last freeway overpass in this city, and that is gonna have to go somewhere down here. So let me see, it looks like I've got a starter piece right there, so this is probably the earliest tile that I can actually have an overpass. So I will get to work laying the groundwork for that. Here, let me find my ground razors. And I'll have one over here, one over here. Hopefully I'll be able to get this done with very quickly today.
User joined your channel.
Oh, and it sounds like someone else has come on to TeamSpeak. Probably wanted to get a little bit of play in the region. Here, I have something open right now so that it says which city I'm working on, but it sounds like I'm going to need to respond in a minute. But since I do have already sort of have a message posted, I'm just going to go ahead and build out this overpass first before I worry about that. And yeah, it looks like the overpass works swimmingly today. So I'm probably gonna want it to continue on straight over here, at least to the main road, and quite possibly further. Now this avenue is gonna replace this road, but before I can really do anything about that, you know what? I'm gonna create a little neighbor connection over here. And I'm going to go into the next tile over, that's Astoria, and see about working out the avenue connection over there. So here we are in Astoria, where my hope is one of the episodes coming soon, I'll get to work finally developing this western part of the tile, which is the only remaining undeveloped land in the area, but for today we're not worrying about that, because we've got to get this connection with the avenue all figured out. Now, if at all possible, I would like to preserve the 90-degree curve that I currently have. So it does look like I'm not going to be having a neighbor connection over there, because that would be just a little bit too out of the way for that. Instead, I think I'll try to have one on the same tile where I currently have my road neighbor connection. So let me get that in place, and I'm going to need to do it twice, looks like. Yeah, that's right. Alright, now let's get rid of this road connection itself. And I'm going to have to replace the 90-degree curve. Hopefully not crashing the game by hovering it over a TE lot in the process. Okay. awfully close to this TE lot. Jeez, I just don't know where to plot this from. Oh, it looks like I have to demolish more anyway. So that would explain that, I guess. Alright. Alright, it's not letting me rotate it at all right now. Yeah, what's up here? Maybe I just have to get rid of the bus stop? And the soccer field? Yep, I can do it now apparently. Or no, it looks like I have to demolish another tile and that's what's up. So those other demolitions were for nothing, it looks like. Isn't that frustrating? Alright, so replacing all the tulips neatly without crashing might actually be a bit trickier than the rest of the job was. So let me see about this. Yeah, we definitely only want type A here. And yeah, looks like we got it there. Excellent. Now over here, looks like we're probably getting rid of a space of turn lane. A shame, but I don't think it'll be the end of the world, considering 3 tiles is plenty at 150 feet. Well, hopefully this is enough space. And it looks like, ouch, looks like it was not quite right. So let's see if I can doctor this up. And it looks like I can. No harm done. That's nice to see. Probably fill in a tile with development over there, and I'm gonna have to rethink how these hook up, of course. I think the residential development should be just fine there, though. And that can replace a few of the trees I got rid of, at least. So I'll go ahead and do that. And say, I have a soccer field and a bus stop to replace, don't I? I'll get on those in just a moment. For now, I'm gonna probably leave this area just filled in with trees, you know, to reflect its more heavily landscaped roots. And it looks like all the trees here have disappeared, so I'll try to replace them. And hopefully these stick around a bit longer. Yeah, that should work. So let's scroll down to the soccer field first. It's not too far down, right? Yeah, nah, not at all. So that fits right back in nicely. Now the bus stop. Takes a minute longer to scroll to, unfortunately. Still facing that way. And, ugh. I don't want the fenced version. Oh, God. I'll have to rebuild that curve again, huh? This is gonna be tricky. Ugh, I have to demolish a ton of stuff again, huh? And rebuild those tulips again too, I bet. Jeez. Okay. So I was able to get through that part safely. Yeah, what do you want to bet that I'm going to crash and have to do all this over again? Alright. Type A. Type A1. Perfect. Whew. Got that taken care of. This time I'll place the bus stop before I do the roads, and it looks like I didn't get the fence that time, so I should be safe. Alright, now I'm not entirely in the clear as far as avoiding crashes. Especially if I keep placing the wrong things and having to demolish. So I'm gonna have to be careful here. Type A2. Yes. Type A1. Alright, got it. Now the intersection piece. Alright. Whew. Looks like we are in the clear. Let me just replace a few more little trees. Over there, and right along here. And I'll let the stuff develop, and I'll resume the recording when it's done. Alright, so here we have it. Yeah, development has come on in, and these roads are already being used quite heavily. So that seems like a good sign for the progress of development just over the border over here. So yeah, I'll meet you back over in Manzanita, and we will start taking things further. Alright, so here we are, and unfortunately, it looks like commuters coming in on this avenue are going to inevitably just take the shortest route out of town, so we'll have quite a bit of traffic flowing over this 90-degree angle right here. But I don't really know what to do about that, short of compromising on the aesthetics of my road system, which is not something I'm really prepared to do right now. Not after all the effort I've put in so far. So I think I'm just going to have to learn to deal with that. And I'll have a major intersection right here with the new avenue. Whoops, just getting rid of some trees there, I guess. And, so what I've got to decide is how to hook these up. And I don't think that this is really an optimal amount of space to do anything fractional angle here. So what I'm actually going to give a shot is just doing a couple 45-degree curves, similar to how I've done in other places before. And yeah, it looks like it should probably not work too badly. Slope looks alright and everything, so I'll keep it this way. Now let me just take care of the tulips really quick before I move on to the main area of focus for this video. Alright, so I'm going to definitely want 4-tile tulips, or 4-tile turning lanes over on this intersection. Whoops. So let's start getting that in place. Whoops. Putting a couple things in the wrong spot. Alright, yeah, that looks right. Now let's get the blank pieces in. Gotta rotate again. And the intersection, easy peasy. Yeah. So I'll leave that area alone for now and get to work over here, where development of this area should proceed pretty fast, if everything goes according to plan, that is. Just gotta make a quick spot decision on whether or not I'm gonna want a traffic light over here. And you know what? I'm thinking right now, yes. So let me drag this on through. And yeah, I don't want my traffic in this area to be too crazy, pretty much. Or so. Whoops. So let's get this intersection fixed up. So I wouldn't want to be keeping the wrong tulips there or anything. You know what? I may be able to... Tough decisions, tough decisions. I'm gonna put that two up there and another one right there. And I'm gonna end up using the compact transition for this road here. It's not something that I use that often, to be honest. Yeah, just like that. And I think that looks alright, wouldn't you say? So now before I do that intersection, I want to quickly figure out how exactly the streets here are going to work out. And full disclosure, I have given this a little bit of thought already. Pretty much, I wanted to have a similar grid to what I had going on over here. That is 6x6 square blocks, 300 foot by 300 foot. So I'm gonna just get started on that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I don't have to count out loud, I'm just choosing to, by the way. Yep, so that'll be the first of the gridded streets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Here will be the next one. And there will be pedestrian access through the bus stop, so that should be pretty effective. Alright, now one more up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And yeah, that's going to be a full intersection right there. In fact, it would probably not be a bad spot for a traffic light, but I don't think I'm going to build one this time around. So over here, you know what, I'm just going to have the road be as close to the railway as it can get. I have a nice diagonal there because I think that I should be able to get a full set of sidewalks this way. If not, I can always move the street a little bit. In fact, this street could probably stand to move, continue a little bit further along this rail line. Yeah, just like that. I think I can keep that. Alright, so now let's get the cross streets in place. Now, what was I gonna do? I think I was gonna leave the... Just thinking aloud for a minute. I don't know. Let me hold off on making any decisions aside from cross streets for a minute, because I might end up having to go back if I'm too hasty. All right. Or not go back, but rebuild. So let's get all of our square blocks in place. And frankly, that's not going to work. Looks like I was kind of starting with from the wrong spot to begin with. Classic noob mistake, huh? So yeah, all of these intersections are gonna have to go. And yeah, let's just get rid of the entire streets. Including this one. Alright, and it should only take a moment to rebuild the 90-degree smooth curve, of course. Ugh. Why does it force you to demolish so much extra stuff every time? It's very frustrating. Okay, perfect. So now I think I'll actually start from this side. Have a full intersection right there. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that was actually 7 I counted, not 6. Yeah, I think that a street here doesn't look too bad. It still leaves a 200-foot gap between it and the main avenue, which is just what I needed. I can probably get rid of that cul-de-sac right there, though. Okay, yeah, this is looking a little bit better. Now let's get the rest of them into place. Yeah, perfect. And just one more, huh? Okay, I can live with that. It's kind of a strange intersection, though. Yeah, this looks just fine. So then, I'm probably going to want another street, huh? Okay, I can do that. Let's maybe have a full 90-degree curve there. And another one over here. Can I? Yes, I can. Excellent. Ooh, it does look like it'll miss a tile of sidewalk, though. And that's not really acceptable now, is it? So we'll have a little bit more of an articulated curve, I guess. And yeah, that'll work. Okay, right up here looks like a pretty optimal spot, to be honest, for maybe a couple of apartments? I don't know. Maybe. I can probably stand to continue that road a little bit further, too, into the neighborhood. You know what? I'm just going to bite the bullet and have another traffic light. It is only a three-way intersection, so I'm not too worried about having it. And what type of thing is that? Looks like a 4x4 lot. Yeah, I can replace that. Probably safer to just demolish it than try to plop the tulip next to it. So let's have just a quick avenue tulip. And going to want the type A transition here. Type A2 right there. Type A blank. And let's get the intersection piece. Type A2T, perfect. Now I'll scroll back down to the parking lot. It is a bit of a scroll, but I'm going to be needing those pieces later, so might as well do it now. Yeah, this way is nice because this way there's no suddenly ending arterial in the middle of the neighborhood. And it means that if I do end up having some apartments up over around here, they'll be a bit closer to main roads. And over here I can stand to get my turning lanes in place. Alright, looks good. And let's get the avenue stuff. And the intersection piece. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. So now, next tough decision. Am I going to want these streets to extend further south? I think for now I will, just as a placeholder. And you know what? I'm gonna actually demolish this avenue altogether. And I'm gonna be replacing it with a little TLA5, just so that there will be faster travel speeds, since it does kind of replace a highway route that doesn't exist. Yeah, and that will have to be TLA5 as well. Yeah, unfortunately I do have to demolish quite a bit to make this work. So let's get a couple of those starter pieces into place. And yeah, I think could probably use one there and one somewhere around here, and I don't feel any particular need to demolish these when I'm done. Yeah, although I probably will have to. Just for the sake of being smart about things. I'm not going to do anything about that for now. I'll just continue the TLA5 on through it in the way I can. And perfect. Whoops. Looks like I may have demolished the starter there too soon. So I'm just going to have a starter piece on both sides of this intersection here. And yeah, that seems like it should work pretty smoothly. I can just replace some of these intersections, and yep, that's good. Now I've only got a couple tulips to replace. Yep, type A. And let's get another type A. Some A1 turning lanes, and we got it. Alright, that's all done. Nice and easy. So now I have to figure out what I'm gonna do with this whole area. And I really do want to keep this area in this kind of curved spot, mostly residential, but I do want some industrial zoning along the main avenue. So I'm gonna go ahead and give myself some of that. This is just trying to think in terms of the region view. You know, I want to have a consistent amount of concrete, basically. You know what, we can in fact get rid of that altogether. And yeah, I'll have a little parking lot in the middle. So let's get all that hooked up. Now over through the heart of this neighborhood here. Thinking in progress. I really should start planning these out a little bit better, huh? I think a 4x4 might be a good idea over here. Well, actually, this is more of a 5x5. Yeah, that looks right. Let's put a 4x4 zone there. I can have a parking lot over here. A couple 3x3s. Maybe another 4x4. Then we'll go easy on the industrial right there, maybe. Another 2 3x3s. If it's a good pattern, why not repeat it, right? And then, how about some more industrial stuff around this area? Yeah, I think that will work out just fine for us. In fact, I could really even have what's it called, a commercial zone right there. Okay, so let me place a couple of those parking lots. I'm just gonna have one there and one there, right? Yeah. Well, might as well have another one over here. And where is my industrial 6x3? Yeah, this looks like a natural parking lot spot, right? Let's get a couple of 4x3s on the queso over next to it. Get the 4x4 to match the one across the road. Over here, I'll just let them zone in however they like. Maybe the same for here. And, And you know what? I think that is enough for the industrial zones along this main avenue here. It sure is a lot of them. And there will be another industrial area over around here. So, yeah, that seems like a lot of industry to me. So the rest of this area, I did want to have a little bit of commercial development. Maybe a little something there and there. Nice commercial parking lot right there. Let me see if I can get any 4x4 commercial lots to grow right there. Because I would like to have a couple. Yeah, that looks decent for that area. And is there anywhere else where commercial zones seem nearly mandatory? How about over here? Have one like that. Maybe a couple like this. And let's put an extra parking lot behind one of these. How about like that? That seems like a nice change of pace, doesn't it? And a couple more businesses along main road through the neighborhood. Yeah, I think we're on the right track. Get something like that there. And that's cool. So anyway, before I get in with the rest of the zoning around here, I think that it's about time I worried about parks and bus stops. So the nearest park to this neighborhood seems to be the one over here. So I probably want another park closer rather than further. Oof. Maybe one around here would be pretty nice. It could just take up the entire city block. 6 by 6, right? That's a good size for a park. Yeah, I can do that. And then another triangular area I could fill with parkland, maybe around here. There's also a park there, so that sort of gets rid of any need to overdo the parks in that spot. These areas are already all good on parks, I should think. Yeah, so those two spots should be all I need as far as giving this area substantial parks that are in walking distance for everyone. And the idea with SimCity 4 is that parks have a radius of effect that stretches for, I think exactly 1,000 feet. So that's what I'm trying to base my considerations off of. Now, I do want some athletic fields in a park in the city eventually, but I don't think that any of these spots are really perfectly suited for that, so I'm going to hold off on plopping any of those for now. Yeah, for here, I'm thinking something heavy on the flower gardens might look nice. Yeah, so far so good. Yeah, nice. That worked out very smoothly, just how I like it. And over here we can have a little grass-only area. And in the center, how's about a little more open grassy area, and then also a couple gazebos, just like so. That should create a nice area and create a bit of a buffer zone between the residential neighborhood that's going to spring up over here and the industrial districts and downtown and everything. So over here, I want to do something a little bit more ambitious, hopefully. Actually, no, I'm going to keep this very simple. Let me just check out what options are available really quick. Yeah. No, it's going to be the simplest park ever, pretty much. Gonna have just some crossings right there. Some straight tile with a bench. Yep. Have those all like that. Then some more straight paths. And we'll fill in the rest with open grassy area. That'll work for just a simple neighborhood park. You can walk your dog around there, let it off leash or whatever, and there's a few independent areas for if people want to just sit around and picnic or do whatever people do. Alright, so I did want to definitely have some apartment buildings in this neighborhood. Although I'm gonna have a couple low density zones around here. Maybe not actually. Maybe I'll just have fake zones, just for the sake of having better looking sidewalks around the curve. Yeah, but I'm gonna have some bigger buildings around here. Can I grow 4x4s of this type of zone? I think so. Looks like that area needs to be re-clicked. Have some more apartment blocks around here. And that's probably good on the apartment blocks, honestly. Well, no, not quite. I'm gonna definitely want the areas facing the park to be slightly higher density along the main road, just because it looks more natural that way. I have a slightly different shaped lot there, just for the variety's sake. And one over there. Might as well make a big one. Yep, facing the park as opposed to the main road. I'm fine with that. So, yep, that seems like about all we need to do in the way of that stuff. Now seems like a good idea, a good time to fill in the rest with lower density zones. Although I'm not going to be able to really use this area for much of anything. That's a shame. There's always open grassy area. Yeah. You know what? I'm actually gonna rethink how this curve works and just have a sharp curve there. Because I don't think that anybody will mind too much. It's a gritty neighborhood anyway. So I am gonna want some residential zones along the main avenue, and I might as well make some of them higher density. Yep, something like that maybe. And that completely, yep, that's pretty much all there is as far as road frontage along this avenue. So I'm gonna leave it at that. Yep, probably have something a little like this going on. Maybe some more smaller houses facing the main road, but sort of sheltered from it by the trees. Oops. Yeah, I think that's a pretty solid idea. So now if I'm going to zone in the rest of this area, I'm going to want as many zones as possible to face the roads that connect to the main one, as opposed to tertiary roads. But of course, facing the parks is always a priority over facing any road in particular. Yeah. So this seems like a solid bet. Yep, just like that. And yeah, that does it for the western half of this area. So now let's move on to the east. And ooh, I just remembered I forgot to put in any bus stops. So I'm gonna have to worry about those after all the zones are in place, which means I'll probably be having to retool some of this stuff. You know what? Right here, by the railway, seems like a pretty optimal spot for some more industrial zones. So I'm going to go ahead and build some of those, along with their own parking lot. Yep, Just put that in right there. And that's good, right? Yeah, this is an outer road, so I want as many zones as possible to face it, I guess. Alright, perfect. And then we can just fill that area on in. Along with that area, this one, this one, and finally over there. So that about cuts it for the zoning part. Or wait a minute. There is another little area I've got to fix up still, looks like. So let me see what I can do. Yeah, it looks like it's zoning in pretty nicely for the most part. Although I am going to rotate that in anticipation of the bus stop. And now it's quite a small area left to worry about. Alright, perfect. So before I let zones develop and make everything get a lot trickier, I think it's time to put in my bus stops. And you know, this is going to be awfully redundant putting it right there, but I'm going to go ahead and do it anyway. Now over here, I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of a zone there to make room for that bus stop. I could also use one over here, although not with that wooden fence, of course. I'm not going to place one there quite yet because I don't know what I'm doing with the area. Now for over here, I have a lot of these 3x3 zones, so I'm going to go ahead and cut that one up a little bit. Over here, that zone is already just going to grow any which way, so I'm not going to change anything. Yep. So what's a great spot for the next bus stop? I think right there it's pretty unequivocally good. Imagine one up there. And that puts them pretty close together, honestly. That's about how good as it gets. So now I'm going to want some in the neighborhood itself, of course. I can just have one either side of this road, honestly. Nobody's going to complain about that. Give myself another bus stop right there. And maybe one right next to the park to match it. Can just cut down on the size of those commercial zones a little bit. Yeah, I think that'll work. Now over here, we'll have a couple. Just because this area without them would be a little bit isolated. The corner of the neighborhood, I mean. And that's probably good on bus stops, wouldn't you say? So it looks like I did miss a little bit of areas to zone, so I'll just get those zoned up really quick. And yeah, sure enough, that was pretty quick. Just the way I like it. Great, so now the one last thing I want to do before just letting the simulator run is to replace some of these trees. Yep. Should only take a minute, or even less actually. Let's see if I can. Alright, finally. Okay, let's try to get as many trees as possible in the area between the water and the railway. Thankfully they don't grow on top of the BSC parks. That would be quite the pain if they did. And it looks like I am going to miss a little bit of sidewalk there and there, which is a shame, but since it is the diagonal sidewalk, it's a little bit easier to miss than if it was on an orthogonal segment of road. So yeah, that about does it for everything I wanted to do before development, although now that I think about it, I probably want to get this tulip in place first, as well. You know what, I'm just going to do a partial tulip on the one side, because I'm not sure what's going to go on that side of the road quite yet. Whoops. Here, let's try to get everything working correctly, of course. Alright, now for the avenue pieces, and this intersection is going to be very tight on the avenue side of things. But hey, at least it'll be functional. Yeah. So that'll work. Okay, I think one more thing I see I can do before I hit play. Let's get some of these trees in here while it's still easy. Alright. Rebuild a couple of these. Turn the grid off and finally hit play. So how's this going to work? Oh, missed a couple more zones. Looks like everything's developing quite nicely and quickly. Over here, I do not want this to be a traffic light. Yep. Let's see if traffic data is loading already. There's always a good chance. Alright. This looks extremely screwy. That anybody would choose to take these street routes over the road route. Yeah, that is just weird. You know what actually might make the most sense here? Since the area, due to the extreme traffic, is already... It's already suffered a lot. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that street connection altogether. Just to try to encourage traffic to only use the main roads through there. And hopefully it should be entirely successful. Just a quick traffic revision, as it's called. And let's see, is this going to change anything? Of course, it'll take a moment to be able to tell, and no, they are still taking the wrong way. What the heck? Hold on a minute. Is there maybe no possibility to left turn around here? Jeez, why is this not working? Come on. Ugh, looks like my extra cheats DLL isn't even working right now. What a pain. Yeah, why would people be unable to left turn up here? That just doesn't make very much sense to me. Wait, okay, so some people can do it, so I don't know why they're using this street then. Yeah, that just does not make sense. Jeez. Well, I'll be honest. I'm a little stumped here. But there's got to be something I can do, right? I'll just give it time, maybe that'll adjust. Yeah, the man is supposed to fix this stuff. Looks like there's at least some adjustment, but still way too much volume on that one street. And not enough over here. Weird, weird, weird. Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully it sorts itself out. Over here, looks like development hasn't proceeded too much yet. It's unfortunate. Yeah, these aren't the type of buildings I really wanted either. Hopefully the right sort of thing will start to grow in. Okay, yeah, it looks like traffic patterns are starting to adjust around here. That's good. Yeah, yeah. Okay, I think I can live with it like this. Even though it does introduce some congestion to the new area. Yeah. All stuff I can live with. Nope, nope, now they're on the street again. What the heck? Just too weird. It's very strange behavior. In fact, you know what? This whole Road 2 right here could probably stand to just be upgraded to a 4-lane road. You know what, because I don't think I really have time to go ahead and completely build out this quarter of the city while still keeping it one video, I think I might do that road upgrade. Just a little bit. Or what do I mean, just a little bit? I'll do it right now. So, okay. It's gonna involve a fair amount of demolition, of course. And, yeah, one of the most important things I'm gonna have to do is see just how close I can get this Avenue Flex curve to the spot. Okay. So it seems like I only need to I can even use one of the same tiles that I already had the neighbor connection on. So that's excellent. It means that I'm going to be able to keep demolitions to a minimum over in Astoria. So let's extend this road on out. And there's going to be an intersection there. That really didn't need to even be demolished. Over there, the bus stop is going to have to move. An easy job if there ever was one. Is that the fence? I can't even tell. Whoop, yeah, it looks like it. Alright, so let's place that like that. And yeah, that looks pretty solid. Gonna have to get rid of a few commercial zones around here, unfortunately. But those, thankfully, are the fastest growing zones around, so it's not a problem at all. Over here, the intersection's gonna have to be demolished to be able to build over it. And yeah. I think that it's pretty safe to just have the avenue kind of end right after the intersection. So okay, we'll have replacement commercial zones right there and there. And that should be all we really need to replace in this tile. You know what, I'm going to go over to Astoria and fix things there first before I finish running the simulation around here. Yeah, seems like the best idea. Okay, so over in this tile, it looks like widening the road should be a super easy fix, because, as you can see, it just kind of abuts against parkland. So I should be able to just move the bus stop maybe a couple of these trails back a little bit. And you know, I'm going to keep that even though it will connect to a different part of the parking lot from before. And yeah. Let me go replace the park first thing of all. And it looks like there's a couple missing tiles of park too that I didn't even get the first time around, so I'll be sure to get those now. Alright. One right there, one right there. There and there. Perfect. So this tulip is going to have to change, it looks like. And ooh, you know what? Things do look a little more tricky than I might have thought a minute ago. Because it's tough to get a single tile avenue S-curve in place. But the puzzle piece may exist at this point. I can't say I'm sure it doesn't. Yeah, over here, it looks like I might be a tile off of, or no, the original road alignment didn't even touch those zones, so I'm good. Alright. Yeah, I'm not seeing an Avenue S curve. Yep, no matter how many times I scroll through, it's not going to just appear. We could always do two one-way road S curves, but that would be ugly as all sin. Whoops. Let's make sure the time of day is right. Yeah, of course this wouldn't work. Unless I were to just move the avenue down a tile, which I can't do because then the flex curve wouldn't fit in the other tile. Oh. You know what? I think I am going to have to just go with my one-way road S curves, even though it is not the optimal solution. And it looks like I have to plop it from the other side, maybe? Yeah, from there. That's the closest I can get it, I guess. So it seems very important that this whole area is 100% flat. Well, that's actually asking way too much. So instead of flat, what we can do is maybe use that RHW slope mode. Yes, that will work out. And then you can just kind of change the slope of the street. And yeah, that'll work. Yep. So I think we are set. Actually, I'm just going to drag this a little bit further, just to make sure that every slope is right where I need it. And those two I can get rid of. You'll see why in a moment if you don't already realize what I was thinking. Alright, and yeah, now this should be a little bit easier. Yeah, it's definitely not perfect looking. I may not be able to keep this street intersection here. Yeah, it looks like that's going to have to be sacrificed. Which, you know what? I'm just going to connect that on up. And I guess I'll be moving the street intersection down a little bit. And we'll have an S-curve. And now I can safely finish up the avenue plan. Looks like those zones will have to move back though. And you know what? I'm gonna have to rebuild so many tulips already that I might as well just rebuild that too. Yeah, those are all gonna have to go. Okay, so that should be pretty solid. Now let's go into our basic tulips and get that intersection piece I had to get rid of back in place. Perfect. Let's get another one of them right there. And I want a T-end right here. TLA3 transition right there. Which of course looks like that. And type A2, that's right. Alright. So far so good. Let's replace the two commercial zones I have to get rid of. And do the avenue parts of the tulip. So type A, A1, and A blank 1. And perfect, that is it. So let me just replant some trees in the areas adjacent to here. Yep, try to get this as solid as I can. I would say this is pretty solid, right? Now I just have to replace a couple bus stops, I guess, and that parking lot. Oh yeah, and the park path. So let me get that in place right away. And bus stops and parking lots are right next to each other, so I'll get those both in one go. So I only demolished one bus stop, but I think that over here would probably actually be better served by having a couple, one for each side of the road. Yeah, that looks better. Now, I think I had the 6x3 lot here. Yep, that looks right. So let me see if I can place some more of these trees. That should have us set. So let me pause the recording and resume it as soon as this development fills in. Well, it came in right away, just the way I like it. And this is how it looks. Let's see if the traffic data actually came in too already. Looks like not quite yet, so I can keep the simulation going for just a minute to allow some of that to come up. Well, now I'm going to have to keep it going until the fall trees are gone, since I don't really use them for a reason in this region. Yeah, nobody is really using this neighbor connection so much right now. Well, no, looks like they found it. That's good. So let me just wait until April or so. Actually, let's make that May. And looks like the trees should be back to normal. Yeah, good enough. And I think I'm ready to go back to Manzanita to finish up this video. Alright, we're here, so let's see how the simulation likes the new road. Let me fill in a few trees while I'm waiting for it. So it looks like it's already using it both ways. That's good, that's good. And are they turning left? Yes, they are. So this intersection might actually be a lot more functional, which is good news because I use intersections similar to this one all over the place. Yeah, this has been entirely successful for removing some traffic from our main streets, although that may be related to the fact that that wasn't really connected. So let's see if connecting that ruins anything. Yep, it doesn't seem to, so with that established, I think I am actually safe to rebuild this area how I had it before. Okay. So let's see, hopefully this will not mean immediate traffic chaos. And it looks like it doesn't. It looks like everything is working a lot more smoothly now as far as traffic patterns. Yeah, I think this is, in general, just working very well. Okay, so I guess there's really not too much more I can do in this video without taking on another heavy task, so to speak. Too bad these apartment buildings didn't come in too well. I'm sure they will, given time, though. Anyway, that about covers everything I was going to do for now, or at least everything I had time for. So I guess I'll call it a video, and next time I'm in Manzanita, I'll make sure to develop this quarter of the city and make good on my word for what I said I might do this time. So, see you then.